In this episode, I am sharing 7 key questions to ask your wedding venue before you sign on that dotted line. So if you are planning your wedding or know someone who's getting married soon, grab a cuppa and dive in. So the first question you want to ask before you book your wedding venue is how many events are allowed on site per day or in one weekend? Ideally, you want your wedding to be the only event that is happening at the venue on that day. The reason for this is having other events happening can result in less setup time, limited venue access, crowded bathrooms, and generally confusion for your guests. If it is not a guarantee that yours will be the only event that is happening on that day, find out how much it will cost to process a complete buyout, and also inquire about how the staff will handle multiple events on that day if a complete buyout is not a possibility. The second question you want to ask is, who is responsible for what damages? You want to confirm that the venue has liability insurance, guys. This is so important. A key question to ask or get an answer to is, do you have to accept responsibility even for accidents on your wedding day that aren't entirely your fault? The third question you want to ask is, does security come with the venue? If you or your client is considering inviting a lot of people or guests with very sensitive positions, it is important that good security is provided with the venue. The fourth question you want to ask is, how much do you have to pay upfront? You want to ask how much of a deposit is required and when do you have to pay this? And when you're making that deposit, also confirm what happens if you do change your mind. Is that deposit refundable? Will part of it be refunded? Do you get a full refund? Is there a sliding scale? The fifth question you want to ask is, are you allowed to bring in your own vendors? Or do you have to use vendors from the venue's preferred or exclusive vendor list? If the venue doesn't require you to use their own vendors, a good question to also ask is if there are any that they highly recommend. You see, the thing is, a vendor who is familiar with a specific venue will already know the challenges of the space, which will make planning and production a lot easier for you. The next question you want to ask is, what restrictions are there? Is your wedding stylist allowed to hang or attach anything to the walls? Is there a ladder on site? Are you allowed to redecorate and move things around, or do you have to leave things as they are? And finally, who is responsible for the venue teardown? Will the venue staff be involved or help you to set up and break down the decor? What you need to bear in mind is a venue like a hotel or a resort will usually have staff available to help arrange and set the tables, and usually they'll also help pack up any rented glassware and crockery at the end of the event. But just be sure to confirm exactly what the venue staff will be handling so that you can pass on that information to your wedding stylist or any other key vendors involved with the wedding. And since you've listened to the very end of this episode, I am also going to give you 2 bonus questions to ask. The first is, are there any alcohol restrictions? Are you allowed to bring in your own wine, beer, champagne? And finally, if you do decide to bring in your own alcohol, what is the corkage fee and how much is it? I hope that you found value in today's episode. If you did, remember to follow me on Instagram at The African Wedding Blueprint, and also check out my website, theafricanweddingblueprint.com. I'll be back next week. Until then, stay safe and stay topped up. Bye-bye.